Good morning to you guys. What's going on with y'all? So, yeah, like, I have been sitting from the sidelines, and, like, because at first I was like, man, this can't be real or whatever, like, and I was not taking that serious as it was, like, because at first I thought, I was like, well, wait, are we really serious here? And then doing my little research, and especially, like, actual videos on the whole thing, so it's like, but, between Devon Dudley and Jim Ross. Yeah, that's the what's been going on. Apparently, is because all this stems from of course, like, I even see the little clip that went around, and it comes from this, like, the whole thing started from, like, because you had, like, especially if you know Maven and how he's perceived well, and he's pretty much a content creator these days. But like he's like, it's like a sit down interview, and then and asking them questions, and it's like, and then Bubba goes like, did we ever, or yeah, like, or specifically, Devon Dudley, did you ever experience any racism, especially, I guess, where, specifically in the wrestling in this industry, and it's like, of course, like, he didn't. He said he didn't experience in ECW, but when they got to WWE, like, there were some top officials that. So it's like, it feels so, not even a wrestlers or whatever, but, like, yeah, like, there was, like, yeah, somebody in the higher ups, obviously, that he experienced that type of rhetoric from him. And there you go. It's like, yeah, like, there you go from that. And, I guess after that, it starts to be a big rumble and tumble. Like, you have a whole gossip session going around, how people speculating, like, who is the person? Was he talking about? Little did we know. And, because he said official, so it's not like, I guess, but, people who had heard, like, people speculated whoever they thought it was. When you talk about, like, probably like Triple H or Vince McMahon, or, whoever like that, Johnny Laurinaitis or whoever. So it's, of course, and you come to that, and then, yeah, there's even long so after that, I guess we get to now to where it's like, Jim Ross comes out and, yeah, pretty much clears the air and said, like, yeah, pretty much saying, I'm not, I'm not racist. And so, like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend as if we, like, of course, like, being that these are two of some of, like, yeah, like, where I look at to where, yeah, not only made my childhood when it comes to, yeah, like, the professional wrestling, but, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend as if, the, like, I break bread on a daily with these motherfuckers. No, we don't know Jim Ross. I don't know Devon Dudley, like, or, yeah, any of the names that's being talked about here. But, and I also not in the defendant space, but, like, so, yeah, like, and then, but, it's not like that, but, like, then again, I'm not also, it's not gonna, like, yeah, like, because we don't even, like, yeah, we don't even know if this is real or not. So I say, even, like, either way, but, I'm not gonna pretend as if I have this know-it-all book, esky, or just, type of behavior to where it's like, yeah, I know everything that's going on, and that couldn't be further from the truth. So, yeah, I don't know either one of them, and also the fact, or whether it's not, like, the fact that, yeah, so that we don't even know. Yeah, I mean, as far as, to me, yeah, it's like everything is just pretty much like a situation, or like how you would say, or he said, she said, is pretty much how I look at it. So, and then, yeah, like, so like, yeah, so it can be anything, or like how I already perceive, or however you want to perceive it. So you have of course, after Jim Ross, and then you have an official. Because, mind you, I think this was way back in November, or however long, like, months ago, still in 2025. But yeah, because they're just now reacting to it, and then you have an official response by Devon talking about the fact, yeah, and obviously, yeah, because obviously, I guess, yeah, people get because because Jim Ross was, yeah, I don't even know why, because it's not like, because like, yeah, I guess probably people speculate to a point to where they were talking about, or I don't even know, even to when it comes to like said thing about Jim Ross, like people being like IWC in general, like when it comes to his history, whether, however, when it comes to whether he's racist or not. So like, I guess that was a long time coming, and so I don't even know why Jim Ross even responded to the way he did, because it's not like they like he like gets he like it's not like he straight up said, "Oh, Jim Ross was the one that was racist to me." No, and since that, so like pretty much, yeah, like I guess that from there, like that was pretty much it. So which is why he comes out, Devon Dudley comes out with this video and says that Jim Ross, yeah, talks about it in a manner. Obviously, it ended up being Jim Ross, and apparently the one being racist towards him. Apparently, with of course thing, and somewhat I'm saying that, and of course being having a racist type of behavior already. Of course, like we all know how it plays out, and of course you had like him going into the detail about how of course people around his circle like Bubba Ray Dudley and Paul Heyman, of course, the people he came up with through ECW, and being defending him and having his back, apparently being addressed. Him also saying like Jim Ross was, incoherently drunk, and so, yeah, and while having this racist behavior, and or being in this racist type of rhetoric, and or being straight up racist, and him's like, because also apparently it's just because also what I guess what he initially had said was Jim Ross apparently, like because you have the whole thing, because also another thing, because you also have that. It's even a clip too, but like you have the whole thing like where it existed, where R-Truth, like it's like a really old interview, and it's like you had the thing with R-Truth where he said like Jim Ross had mentioned to him, to where it's like just because this is still a white man's world, white man's sport, and because I said as old as wrestling goes, to where you like have those sports to where it's like like when you look at it too, it's like. And being that where you had like to even when you look at because he said to R-Truth saying that it's like an old clip, an old interview I guess of like R-Truth being it's like being much more younger too, so you can tell how old it is, and it's like being like this wrestling is still a white man's sport and whatever like that, so you will certain people will hold you down obviously because of the color of your skin, and I feel like, and that's where I feel like probably the same thing, only of course, I mean, being that Jim Ross had his own demons and flaws like everybody else, so I feel like him carrying himself in that type of manner, I feel like definitely for like we feel like today, but of course the shit obviously not a good idea and whatever, but that's where I feel like he probably addressed it to I feel like we're, especially at that time too, where R-Truth felt like he's just one of those dudes where, especially like Booker T too, where they just like they are much more being that they're black and they have such perceived backgrounds to where you feel like this I mean, to where you get a negative you already get a negative reaction from them, but they speak in a highly intelligent, very proper manner. So it's like, but I feel like he could that was probably like with trying that, like with saying that to Devon was like where I feel like that wasn't it was like probably it was like you probably should have went about the way that you went about it, because especially, but not say it, because also Devon even has that same rhetoric about that same and having that behavior about him too, where he's like even dressing this situation, being as intelligent and as proper that he is, coming at it in a very educated, which I like, It's like it's better instead of like to where very surprised, but yeah, very surprising. But he's coming at it in a very educated and mature way. So it's like, but yeah, like yeah, or I feel like I mean that's probably you might because some people it's gonna rub off the wrong way, and I feel like when it had happened with Devon to where it's like like what they're not gonna take it the same way that maybe somebody like or the other dudes like other black men wrestlers like a R-Truth or who are even a Booker T is probably as how they're gonna take it. And, obviously there's gonna be other ones like a Devon Dudley in the industry that's gonna take it a different way, and that's where I feel like especially being that also too, she probably shouldn't have been a good idea. And like I said, because you can even look at the whole thing. But like it's pretty fucking specific too. So I don't it's like especially too like given that who like the Dudley boys are. I mean, it's not like I mean, also it sounds and it looks like it's not like he's making it the fuck up. But then again, like too, it's like it can be left up to the naked eye. And it's like, I mean, when you look at especially too, like even before the time to where he blew up and how he got his recognition in WWE, which is like kind of like really, where I feel like really late in his career. JR was like, of course. I mean, he comes from a time too, especially where wrestling it was not like where you have like the WWE becoming the Disney of the industry. No. I mean, you look at Jim Ross comes from the territorial days, and to even to where it's like he probably had the same allegations as somebody is like a Ric Flair. Because I even heard it. I've also heard that about apparently Ric Flair being apparently, especially from like from Teddy Long, apparently having a racist background, and him apparently being racist. So it's like you like coming from a time to where I won't like say the whole shit of like I mean he's not a product of it, like okay, like if this is like whether this is real or not, being that of course him being from Oklahoma, he's from the South. I feel like, especially as old as he is, I would I mean it's like refreshing too, but also like you would think that, but like I mean looking at Jim Ross too, he'd like being like obviously too, even if it was actually, it's not like he's gonna admit the fact that he's racist, but like he comes from the South, so it's more so like I'm kind of surprised that he's not, but I mean I say he's much more than that, but like speaking as if he's like he comes especially too, you see looking at where he's from, the South, Oklahoma, he comes from a time to where like I said, like racism was one of those things, like it was like better, like it was like it was like it's normalized, it was normal, and people treated it as if it was normal. So like but let's say also another thing, it's not like I'm gonna say that like like it's a product of his time, and we live in a time now to where which is true also, but so I'm not gonna say that shit of like it was a product of his time, but because and also that I feel like we live, so because now we live in a time to where like you can get it. I said people will try to cancel you for any little thing, so like so we live in a time to where like if you like even where you make one little mistake, that can pretty much be the end of like whether it's not your social credit, but reputation, but pretty much the end of your career whatever you stand in. So like but so like looking at this whole situation, it's like because you had like even like I guess at the like end of it too, like them like really, but what's I don't get the whole like they only really needed as far as explanation goes to really drag it, but I feel like But yeah, like I said, even because I feel like they know, like being that their type, their how the names that they have, Devon Dudley and Jim Ross, being that they're legends in the industry, and what I feel like, yeah, they're like, of course, they're much more, they're much, even though I feel like, yeah, to where to a degree, it's probably dragging it, this whole situation out, but yeah, it's where they feel like you need the extra context and the explanation to, like, yeah, because people, even now, it's like situations where it's like, yeah, where people actually believe that Jim Ross is like that, yeah, acting as if he's legitimately fucking racist, and it's honestly just it's wow, but like, yeah, so that's where I feel okay, like, yeah, but like where it makes any sense. But yeah, I mean that's like that's pretty much what the dealio is, because you have, like, yeah, like as far as that goes, they don't really have, I guess, aside from the fact that they were in the same industry together, it's not like they have a really personal relationship. They even talk about it. Devon said he last saw Jim Ross, what was it, I guess, yeah, at last WrestleMania. So, like, yeah, like they don't really have it's not like they really have a very, like, family oriented or a really personal, friendly relationship, the best of all relationship, and that's just how it goes. That's like what other people in the business, in the industry. Yeah, that happened to be, like, you have these, like, yeah, notable names, yeah, and they really don't mesh that well, and then or never did. So it's like, I mean, that and that, yeah, it's where I feel like, yeah, also too, it's like, where I feel like this situation, I feel like they probably both admired each other in their work, and I feel like, and wanted the, like, to, yeah, probably at one point, of course, wanted to be friends, wanted to be considered a family, but I feel like, where I feel like this whole thing got started, and pretty much, like, saying, of course, they erupted out of this whole thing and trying to, like, say, like, the racism, but, like, no, I feel like, yeah, that's where I feel like the real situation comes from, as far as, like, them not really having a relationship that goes out of professional wrestling. So is I guess is how I look at it, and I mean, I really hope so, because to be given that how because yeah, like I said, being that, yeah, I'm not gonna try to put them on a pedestal or whatever like that. So I hate doing it, but yeah, like, I guess, yeah, to really cap it all, like, yeah, I hope it ends here and not, and they really don't drag it out, given that how, like I said, given out, like, how mature they handled this. I mean, they're professionals, they're fucking legends, and I like how they handled this. I really do. Like I said, like, yeah, especially, like, also coming from Devon too, because he really, especially too, like, he really could have made a big deal. I mean, or it kind of does feel that way, still feels that way, but he could have made a really big deal out of this. He really could have, and really, like, catered to the IWC how about this situation, cause, how they feed off of when it comes to a situation like this. Let's say even Jim Ross said, like, yeah, people are not going to really care about whether the context comes, or the really real, people will take what they want to run with, and yeah, already the reason why they don't like somebody like a Jim Ross, or the era that he comes from, and just fish for more reasons already, or when they had it already, or when it comes to individuals, or, like, why the rest of the industry, or the sole reason why the industry is even at a place where it's at, to thank them. But, like, yeah, they already have it in their minds, and they want to fish for one of the reasons why they don't, like, when it comes to somebody like a Jim Ross, why they don't, to another reason not to like them, to hate them. So yeah, I really am proud of, and I really respect how but not only, like, both guys, but Devon Dudley coming from this whole thing, because it really could have made it into a much more bigger deal. But yeah, I mean, it felt like, yeah, the way I even want to sit down and really look at it in full. So yeah, both guys, props to both guys, and how they really addressed this and the fact. So also got to say, yeah, it's kind of really, like, yeah, but yeah, I hope that, yeah, people, this really doesn't get yeah, really also just really ends here. Even like I said, obviously it's going to be a constant discussion from here on out.